Today we're going to be working on systems notes, graphing systems of equations in slope-intercept form. So a system of linear equation is a system or set of two, I'm going to make that a little bit bigger so I can get to it, of two or more equations. And then you're going to have a solution, so the solution to a system is the point, so the x and the y, where the two lines meet. Okay, so when we have these, there are three types of linear equations. The first one is if you have one solution. Okay, so if you have one solution, you have a line that goes this way, and it wouldn't have to be this way, it's just you have a line, and then you have another line, and your solution is where they meet. So that would be my solution, and I would label it with my x coordinate and my y coordinate, and that would be one solution. It's meeting at just that point. You also have one that's called no solution. And that's when you have parallel lines. So I would have a line going this way, and I might have another line exactly parallel. And as you know, parallel lines never meet, so that would just be an S or no solution. And then you have infinitely, I'm gonna move this over a little bit, infinitely many solutions. And that's if it makes one line. So let's say you graph your first line, and it looks like this. And then you go to the graph your second line, and your second line lands exactly on top of your first line. So I'm graphing my second line, and it is the exact same line. That would be infinitely many solutions. And when you have that, your slope and your b, where you start, are going to be exactly the same. So you're going to have y equals your mx plus b part. Maybe you have 2x plus 3. Both of your lines will say y equals 2x plus 3. So they're going to be exactly the same, and that would land on the same line. Okay, so now we need to our steps. Step one, we're going to graph the first line. Then we're going to graph the second line. Then we're going to find or name the ordered pair where the two lines meet. Okay, so in this case, you will have an x and you will have a y where they meet. But if you have parallel lines, that's when it says no solution. And when you have one line, or the same line, maybe instead of one line, let's use the word same line. That's when you're going to have those infinitely many solutions. And I know it says infinite solutions, but you can say it either way, infinitely many or infinite solutions. But on this one, just like the first one, you have your x and a y. Your second one, you have ns. This one, we would just say IMS. We just shorten that up, infinitely many solutions. Okay, so we have 4 of these that we can graph. So I'm going to do exactly what it says. It says graph my first line. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. As long as it's in y equals mx plus b, I can graph right away. So my first one says y equals negative 4x plus 1. So just like before, we're going to start this on this line right here. So my first dot is going to go on a positive 1. And then this tells me what I'm going to do. Okay, so right now it says negative 4. So I know my slope is a -4. I don't have my bottom number, so it's going to be over 1. So I'm going to go down 4, and then that 1 is positive to the right one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. And I can only go down 3, so I can't go down 4. So the exact opposite of going down 4 to the right one is going up 4 and to the left 1. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then to the left. And that's all we can get. It says equal, so we're going to go ahead and connect those points. Okay, now we're going to graph our second one. Our y equals -x minus 2. So just like before, we take that b value, this back number, and we're going to graph it on this line right here. So my first dot is going to go on -2. So my first point is -2. This is telling me what I need to do. It's just a negative in front of the x. So my m, if it's just a negative, it's really a -1. I don't have my bottom number, so it's going to be over a +1. I have to make that positive because it's not negative. So my top one is a negative. I only see one negative there, but my bottom is going to be a positive number. So I'm going to go down 1 to the right one. And if I go down 1 from my -2 and I go down 1 to the right one, I land on a spot that already has a point crossed from my red line. So I'm just going to circle that. And I'm going to go down 1 to the right one, down 1 to the right one, down 1 to the right one. When I can't go down and to the right, the same of going down and to the right is up and to the left. So now I'm going to go up and to the left. And then I'm just going to connect all those points together. Okay, and now I want to find my ordered pair where they meet. Okay, this is my x and this is my y. My x always goes left and right. So we're going to go from the middle, left or right first, and then we're going to go up or down. So I always say find your hallway and then take the elevator up or down. So when I'm looking, I'm going to start at 0, 0. So 0, 0 is, I'm trying to find a good color here. Let's start with 0, 0 is right here. So from that very center, I have to go right to my hallway 1. So my first number is going to be a +1. Oops, let's highlight +1. And then from there, I'm going to go down to where it hits that point. So I'm going down, and that one hits at -3. So my second one is going to be -3. So my solution is 1, -3. So let's look at number 2. Number 2, we're going to start the same, where we always start with this number back here. It's a +3, so I'm going to, on this line, mark my +3. So my first point goes on +3, and then this tells me what I'm going to do. That's my slope. So my m is, it's a -2 right now. It doesn't have a bottom number, so I'm going to put it over a +1. So I'm going to go down 2 to the right one, down 2 to the right one. And if I can't go down and to the right, I'm going to go up and to the left. That's as far as I can go, so I'm going to connect those points. Okay, so just like going down until I didn't do this for you, so I'm going to show you on there. So I couldn't go down and to the right, so I did the opposite, which was up and to the left. Okay, so I'm going to do my next line, which is this -1. So that's going to go right here. I'm going to put my first dot on my first point on -1. So -1, and then I'm going to look right here, and it's going to tell me what I need to do. So my m, again, is telling me I'm going to go down 2, I don't have a bottom number, to the right one. So notice, when I look at these two things, notice that my slopes, I went down 2 and to the right one. For this one, I'm also going down 2 and to the right one. That's going to give me a parallel line, and once we do this, you'll see that parallel line come through. So I'm going to go down 2 to the right one, down 2 to the right one. And then if I can't go down 2 and to the right, I'm going to go up 2 and to the left. So 1, 2, 1. I'm just going to connect those. And notice those are parallel lines. Those lines will never meet. So this one, your answer for this would be a no solution, because those lines will never meet. Okay, so let's try this one here. I'm going to start at this -1 on this line, my y-axis. So my first dot, first point goes on -1. And then this one gives me two numbers for my slope. So my first one is going to be -1 over +2. So I'm going to go down 1 to the right 2. If I can't go down to the right, I'm going to go up and to the left. And then I'm just going to connect those points together. Okay, look at my next line. My next one's a -4. So I'm going to start on this line. My first point goes on -4. And then my M, I'm going to go up 1 over 4. So from here, I'm going to go up 1 and then over 4. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Notice you already have a point there, and I put another point, so I'm going to circle it. That's going to end up being our solution, but I'm going to see if I can go up 1 and over 4 more. I can't, but I could go down 1 and to the left 4. So notice that my 1 and my 4, those are both positives. So to do the exact opposite, they're both going to have to be negative. So this one I went down 1 and then to the left 4. And then I'm just going to connect those together. So now this one will have a solution. So we're going to start with our x and our y. Our x goes left and right, and our y goes up and down. Okay, so I'm going to start at 0, 0. So I'm starting right here, right in the center. And I'm going to go until I get to the line that it's in. So that's going to be a +4. So I'm in hallway +4. And then from hallway +4, I'm going to go down, looks like to -3. So they're meeting at +1, -3. So this would be my solution for that one. And then our final one. Just like we always start, we're going to find our b value and plot it. So my b value is a +3, so my first point goes on +3. This one I have both of my numerator and my denominator, so it says down 5 to the right 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. There's my first point. And then I'm going to try to go down 5 and to the right 3 again. So 1, 2, 3. I can only go down 4. So now I'm going to go up to my +3 where I first started. I'm going to try to go up 5. Because remember, the opposite. So I'm just changing where my negative is. So now I'm going to go up 5 and to the left 3. So I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. And I can only go up 3. So this line, because that slope is, you have bigger numbers for your slope, you're only going to get 2 points on this one. And that's okay. So we can still connect those 2 points together. And now I'm going to do the next one. So I'm going to start, my first point goes on -3. And it's going to land on this line right here. So my first point is going to go on -3. And then this tells me what I'm going to do. So this m, they're both positive. It looks like 1/3. So I'm going to go up 1 over 3. So 1, 1, 2, 3. And I find a point. And I'm going to go up 1, 1, 2, 3, make another one. Notice that you already had a point there, so we're going to circle that one. The same of going, notice both of those are positive, so now they're both going to be negative. So from my original point on -3, I'm going to go down 1 and then to the left 3. Down 1 to the left 3. And then I'm going to connect those points. Okay, so now I have to find my solution. So I need my x and my y. My x goes left and right, my y goes up and down. So first thing I'm going to start at 0, 0. I find my hallway. So I'm going to hallway over to 3, so it's going to be a +3. Oops. +3, and then from there, I went down 2, so it's going to be a negative, oh geez, -2. So this is going to be my solution. All right, you have everything you need to complete notes number 2 which is, the title says, System Notes Graphing Systems of Equations in Slope-Intercept Form. So you are all set to get started.